Okay. So I want to pseudocode the Sieve of Eratosthenes. So how do I pseudocode the prime number Sieve? Like, what do you need to do?
Some kind of loop, I'm guessing?
Yeah, there's definitely going to be some kind of loop. So I think first things first, you need like to write out a bunch of numbers, right?
Yeah.
You guys see that? So I'm going to make an integer that I'm going to call limit, and I'm going to set that equal to
6 billion.
6 billion. I'm going to start with 10. And then, what do I need to make?
An array.
I need to make an array.
All the numbers between 0 and 10. 0 and 9, really, right?
Okay, and my array is going to be a little... I have a good idea for this array that's not quite make it with numbers in it.
Make it with pictures.
Because it's already got the eyes, right? It's already got the indexes. Right, so if I kind of make an array, I'm going to call this thing numbers, because I'm really super creative. Right? And I'm going to kind of think about that as, I don't know, some kind of like a list, right? And we're going to start at 0 and we're going to go up to 10 or 9 maybe. Depending on how counting.
How big can a char array be? Because I tried with double and it doesn't allow double arrays.
Oh, yeah, so I'm going to do this the really silly way. This is going to feel really screwy. What do I want to know about each number?
Is it
Yeah, I just want to know if they're prime or not, right?
right?
Yeah, so I'm going to make a Boolean array. I'm just going to record true or false for everything in there, and I'll just flip them, right? When I go through and cross off the multiples, I'm just going to literally cross them off by making them false in the array. You guys cool with that? So I'm going to kind of record, oops, 0 is going to be false. 1's going to be false. And then kind of some scheme on this. Right? So I'm going to make a Boolean array. A little funky. Okay, and then what?
Do a for loop off of there.
Yeah, I'm definitely going to need some kind of loop through the array. Loop through numbers. Right? So I'm going to loop through that array. And at each step, what do I want to do?
Set the value of I.
See, so
I mean,
as I go through the array, right? So first things first, I'm going to be looking at the 0 spot. That spot's false, right? That thing 0 is not prime. So I don't really want to remove it. I just don't want to do anything with it because it's not prime anyway, so I should just skip it. You guys see that? Then when I get to 1, I should also skip that one. Then when I get to 2, what's going to be in the array at 2? Yeah, probably true.
so you need the if statement if boolean is true.
Yeah, so I want like if, and how do I get at the spot?
Boolean xi.
So I want to do I, right? And then I just do numbers I.
If is true.
So if it's true, right? If that number's kind of next up in the list, and if it's not marked off yet,
Print it.
good. Okay, so we should print, and I'm not printing out the true, right? I'm printing out the value, right, that I want to look at, the number, which is the index of that spot, not the content of that spot of the array. It's a little weird, right? Like, usually I do this the other way. Usually I'm interested in the content of the array and not the index. And in this case, I've kind of flipped that on its head. Feels a little funky. And then what do? So once I got to 2, what was my step?
I times any other number.
Yeah, I need to like go through and cross off the multiples, right? So I want to do another loop, right? You see that? So I'm gonna do like loop with j's or something.
How far are we going?
Yeah, that's a fair question. I made an array that was, in this case, like 10 things long, right?
Yeah.
So I'll want to go till I hit that, right? You guys see that? But I'm not. Maybe I'm just a little confused about what this j is doing. But at the very least, I'm going to loop through with j's and cross off the multiples, right? So I'm going to do numbers. Ooh, where's 4 going to be?
What do you mean?
Like, right now I've got an I and a J, right?
Right.
And I want to like, okay, I'm kind of thinking I is 2, right? Because that's going to be the first time this will activate. And then I want to cross off 4 and 6 and 8, right? And 10.
Numbers I times j
Yeah, so I need to take I and multiply by J.
equals false.
And I'm going to set that to false. You guys with me on that? Okay. And where do I want to start, J?
How about 2?
Yeah, I darn well better started at 2. Why wouldn't you start it at 1?
Because it'll mess up the loop. Because then you count 0 and 1.
Yeah, you'll just go cross off 2, right?
Yeah.
You'll be like, cross off 2, cross off 4, cross off 8, cross off 10. Pretty quick, you're not going to have anything to print out, right? You're just going to have it. That's like the longest way to make an array of booleans that's all false. What's up, Ben?
Can't you start? Oh no, never mind. I was thinking something at the start.
So I want to go to 2 up to, I don't know. We'll figure it out.
I guess you don't actually care after 10.
Yeah, I don't care after 10, and there's gonna. Let me leave that as a question mark right now. That should, in your brain, in your squishy bits on the inside there, you should be worried about when I times j is really big. That's not an index for the numbers array, right? So depending on the language, it might be like, yeah, whatever, or it might be, dude, that thing doesn't exist, what are you talking about? So we may have to spend a second fiddling with that to get it to work. Let's see, so I printed the prime number, and then I looped through with j and cross off all the multiples, and then what?
And then you go back to the first one.
Yeah, and then that'll stop, so then we'll go to the next number, right? And if it's true, then we'll print it out and cross off its multiples, and if it's false, we just won't do anything. And we'll just skip right past it. Okay, it's cool with this?
So is the question mark 5?
It's the question mark 5.
Fairly certain it is.
Yeah. Yeah, so for 2, the question mark is 5. For 3, the question mark is 3. Yeah, I really kind of want up to, like, I times j is smaller than the limit or something. You guys kind of see that? Like, we'll fiddle around with that piece a little bit and get something going.
Equals.
Yeah, I'd really like to cross it off when it actually is the limit. This is like really shitty pseudocode, right? Because I'm like, well, up to this condition, right?
Also for efficiency, instead of saying 2 up to I times j, we could say I up to
Yeah.
I times j because of that whole theme we figured out with the I squared.
Yeah, so you could definitely improve on this, right? Because you know that you can go out to I squared before you start crossing things off.
Right.
Okay, so you could definitely do better than this. I said I was going to do the shitty one, so I'm doing the shitty.
Is
Cool.
it gonna mess up the code to have the print I before the loop, the second loop?
I don't know. Let's try it. I don't think so. So I think it should just print that number out and then go through and cross off the multiples. And when we were going through this, right? Remember when we got to a true, right? When we got to something that hadn't been crossed off already, that thing was definitely prime. And so that's probably a good spot to print that out. Cool with this?